I want to show you a viable left-leaning ideology, which is the one that I grew up with, and is absolutely free from the mental illness that we see now manifested in the world with wokeness. In Romania, we have this thing called ANPC, which is the National Assembly of the Customer Protection. Basically, there are people working for the government that ensure that businesses do not try to scam the customers. So for instance, if you go to a restaurant and they give you rotten meat, well, you call these guys and they have the investigators, they go into the kitchen of the restaurant, they find out the way that it's operating, and if it doesn't operate according to standard, they shut it down. If Steam, for instance, were to delete your gaming account, which you have spent thousands of dollars on, you call these guys, and they have a team of lawyers that will sue Steam. It's like the Romanian government would sue Steam if they did something like that. So I do think like this is a very important institution. I'm actually in huge favor of it. One of the few institutions in the European Union that I actually do respect. And here you have this gentleman. He is dubbed Piedone in Romania, based on a famous actor that was playing in movies back in the day. And recently, he is showing days in his work, right? So, like, here he is going into a nightclub. He is asking random ladies how old they are, trying to make sure that everyone in the nightclub is above the age of consent. And once he finishes harassing the customers, he goes and he starts harassing the owners. And, like, for instance, here, he brings his own measuring cup, and the people at the bar, when they serve shots, they would say, okay, well, a shot of whiskey that's like 25 milligrams costs $10, let's say. And he would be like, okay, so you're saying you're giving me 25 milligrams, pour it, and then he uses his own cup in order to measure it. And if it's not accurate, he can actually shut down the entire business. And in this video, he actually shut down 4 to 5 nightclubs. Shutting down doesn't mean that they can't operate ever. It simply means that they have to understand the criticisms, fix it. Like in this particular case, they have to fix the measuring cup issue, and then they can reopen. He's absolutely upset about the impurities that he sees in the water here.
Impuritățile astea de unde sunt în paharul ăsta?
Why are there impurities in this glass? Shouldn't it be clean?
Păi n-a spălat paharul?
Didn't you wash it?
Da, am înțeles. Este o diferență semnificativă.
There's a significant difference between my measuring cup and the one that you poured for me.
40 de grame are ăsta.
There's a 40 grams difference.
La fel la asta. Astea nu sunt omologate și nu corespund. Aveți pe
Yeah, he's basically saying they are not standard units, the ones that they're having, and they're cheating the customers. He's looking at the menu, he's comparing what's in the menu versus what's being served.
Meniu exact, treceți cantitatea foarte bine, dar nu...
He admires the fact that the quantity of the drink is in the menu, but they're not respecting what's being written.
Nu sunt omologate, vă trebuiesc șaturi omologate. E o diferență undeva la 80 de grame între 7 și 12 grame. De multe ori în multe cluburi nici nu mai pune în ăsta și pune că cred.
He basically says that in many clubs they don't even use the measuring anymore and they eyeball it, which is also illegal.
De că sunt 40 de grame și niciodată nu-l umple, ca să ne înțelegem, da?
And they never fill the glass entirely anyway.
Îl umpleți vreodată? Nu.
Right, so basically like they're stealing from the customer, right? Now again, leftist ideology is supposed to protect the people from abusive practices. And the abusive practices can come from the corporations, they can come from the government, they can come from the church. Like this was the idea. This was the fundamental of leftist ideology back in the day. And to see it being represented here in this video, and to see like how many people absolutely cheer for what this guy is doing, is really interesting. You know, like this could definitely be a way that leftist ideology could reform itself. And again, like most people would support this, right? Now, of course, this man in particular, why is he doing this, right? Like, why is he televising his job? Because, like, he can obviously do this behind the camera. Well, the first important thing is a public announcement, right? Like, if stores are aware that this guy is going store to store to store and is shutting them down, like, they are going to be more than willing to start complying. Like, they will be afraid that they too can be checked one day. And in order to avoid being shut down, they will try to be within the letter of the law. The second reason is that he probably wants to run for mayor in Bucharest. He probably thinks that the current mayor in Bucharest is going to become the future president. So, like, a position is open, and he might be willing to take it. That's just my speculation. But regardless of his motivation, it is interesting to see this as a public health announcement. Like here, he is going to point out that they need gloves. They're not using gloves when serving the drinks. I gotta say, like, some of the European standards are a little bit more exaggerated, but, it comes with the business. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. He's pointing out that, oh my fucking god. He is pointing out that one of the ice cubes there has certain impurities. Right? Like he's also nitpicking a little bit. However, the main reason that he decided to shut them down is because of the cheating of the customers, right? Like, they had different measurement units than they were supposed to. And if you serve shots all night, like, it adds up. Like, there's a consistent amount of cash that they steal from the customers every time they do this. In another place, he goes into the bathroom, doesn't really like what he sees, talks about the electrical wiring not being up to standard and being improvised. A lot of people would eye roll and they'll be like, oh, come on, he's nitpicking. But we actually did have a huge fire in a club once, and the people did blame the government for the collective fire, it's called. They were underground where a band was playing, and the band had some fireworks, and the entire club caught fire. Many people died, especially young people. It was horrible. And so, yeah, like things like this is not nitpicking, I think. Like, there have been several examples where electrical wirings ended up short-circuiting and people died. And so I don't think that it can be said it's nitpicking. Usually people wait for the tragedy to happen, and then when other people are pointing it out, then it's fine, right? But, like, why do we have to wait for the tragedy? And, yeah, like, this televised thing is really interesting. I wanted to know what the Americans think of this. I don't know if you guys have something like this in the United States. There is, like, no equivalent of the Consumer Protection Act, right? Like, but what do you think about the principle, like the idea that you can have a guy that goes into markets, he goes into all sorts of businesses and public places, and they want to see that the standard is respected when it comes to how the business serves the customer. Like, is the business cheating the customer? Is it operating in a cleanly manner? Right? Like, is the fridge cleaned properly? Do they use gloves when they serve you? So on and so forth. I don't think, like, the Americans have any equivalent for this. But again, it used to be part of the leftist ideology. In the sense that, like, leftist parties here were very concerned with this back in the day. Like, they were the ones that were increasingly concerned. And it kind of makes sense, right? Because they're the ones with the bureaucracy, so they're the ones that should enforce it. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.